So about a year ago this time, about 2 weeks before cf.Objective last year, I was supposed to come and speak, and I actually woke up in the middle of the Blue Ridge Parkway. I was unconscious. I had about 4 paramedics staring over me, and they were asking me if I was okay, and my answer was no. So I grew up in the 70s. This slide here is supposed to be 1970, and the cool thing in the 70s was what? Evel Knievel. So I grew up, wanted to ride a motorcycle, and I wanted to be Evel Knievel. You know, people don't do stuff like this anymore. So this is me. This was back. I was like 11 years old. The most important thing about this slide is the socks. So I asked my parents for a motorcycle for Christmas, and they were dumb enough to buy me one. And I've been riding ever since. That's about 37 years. So why ride a motorcycle? The biggest thing probably in this slide is riding a motorcycle is really economical these days. Even the most powerful, fastest motorcycle you can buy probably gets 30 or 40 miles an hour, or miles to the gallon. If you buy a moped, you get 100 miles to the gallon. Other reasons, you know, it's good for commuting, you can race. So it's 2011, that's what that little white blob is supposed to say. And these days we have a lot of distractions. We've got cell phones, we've got in-car navigation, we've got pedestrians walking out in the middle of the street. So as a motorcyclist, you really kind of have to take care. So the key here is if you want to learn how to ride a motorcycle, you need to be prepared, because things like this happen. You know, accidents are really unavoidable, and the big key is you need to be prepared to have one. There's kind of an old saying among the motorcycle crowd is it's not if you're going to have an accident, it's when you're going to have an accident. So you need to be kind of prepared. This is my favorite slide here. This one speaks for itself. There's always the unexpected. You know, driving in traffic, you're expected to hit a car hit you or something. But in my case, the deer ran out of nowhere. I didn't see him. There was nothing I could have done to avoid it. He slammed into the side of me, and I woke up, like I said, on the side of the road. So how do you learn how to ride a motorcycle, and how do you learn how to ride a motorcycle safely? I don't recommend that you go to the bookstore and buy a book. If you do, let me know how that turns out. I'd be interested to know. It's good for reference maybe, but I don't think I'd go that route. So since this is a technical conference, I thought I'd use some technical terms here. So if anybody does Agile or stuff like that, you know, there's kind of this red-green refactor. So basically, it's you write a test, you write some code to pass the test, and then you kind of rinse and repeat that process. So the next couple slides, we'll look at some tests, I guess you could say. Our first test is what kind of motorcycle do you want to buy? You know, this is the first thing you're going to get excited about. You want to buy a dirt bike, a scooter, a sport bike, a cruiser. There's all kinds of motorcycles out there, and most people kind of get fixated on what they're going to buy. My thing is kind of stop, write your test, and figure out, why don't we take the motorcycle safety class? The Motorcycle Safety Foundation, I believe, has classes in all 50 states. They're like, $100, less than $100. You go out, they actually provide a motorcycle for you so that you can trash somebody else's bike before you buy it. A lot of people take this class and learn that they don't actually like to ride a motorcycle. So our next test is, now I know how to ride a motorcycle, I'm going to go buy a brand new one. You can go out and buy a motorcycle fairly inexpensively compared to a car, but again, it's not really the best choice when you're first learning to ride. One, you don't need to go out and buy a giant, super bike. What you want to buy is kind of the bike you see on the side of the road. I think that says $300. The big thing here is that your first motorcycle, you're probably going to. You may wreck it. You're probably most likely going to drop it. I know on my first bike, I bought it brand new in the showroom. I drove it home, and when I was coming around the porch, I clipped the clutch lever off. It probably had 50 miles on it. So test number 3 here, I believe, is riding gear. This speaks for itself. If you fall down with this, you're probably going to hurt something. So there's kind of a mantra we have, and unfortunately this slide's again a little blurred out, but it's called all the gear, all the time. And this is kind of just a habit you need to develop. If you're going to run down to the store and get a loaf of bread, or if you're going to go on a cross-country trip, you wear all your gear all the time. Is it inconvenient? Yes, but when that falling off part happens, you'll be prepared. Next thing is budget. You know, how much most people run out and they buy a big motorcycle, and then all of a sudden they don't have enough money for a helmet and all the other gear that you need. So my mantra is kind of, you know, take your budget, cut it in half, spend half of it on a motorcycle and half of it on good riding gear. The next thing is once you do get your bike and your gear, you know, go take another class. The Motorcycle Safety Foundation, in addition to having their beginner motorcycle class, has an advanced motorcycle class. And that when you ride your own motorcycle, you do things a lot faster. You know, you get more comfortable with your equipment. So the next slide is a cute baby slide, which everybody needs to have. And this one said rinse, basically rinse, repeat. The process just goes on, you know, it's just like coding. You're always learning something. You never become a perfect motorcyclist, just like you never become a perfect coder. You know, you get a bigger motorcycle, faster motorcycle, better gear. This one also says May, which is now May is Motorcycle Awareness Month. So when you're out driving your car, talking on your cell phone and punching in coordinates in your GPS, just take a moment to look around and be aware that motorcyclists are out there, you know, we're riding along with you guys, and we're a lot more vulnerable. So here's a couple URLs you guys can write down. The Motorcycle Safety Foundation, if you're interested in riding, that'd be my first stop. Once you do become a rider, check out the American Motorcyclists Association. They do a lot of legislative work. Ride to Work is the third Wednesday of July. They encourage everyone, all the motorcyclists, to ride to work. And that's the end.